Sorry, I'll have to check it's recording. And I've normally lean it in windowsill, but I've got loads of potted plants in windowsill, so I'm leaning it against the potted plant. Right. I'm doing an assumptions video. I advertised on my Instagram and my Facebook blog, and I put I want to do an assumptions video for YouTube. So, you know, drop your assumptions down below. Nobody commented on either. A lot of people liked the post, but nobody gave me any assumptions. So I was thinking, the people, either the assumptions are so offensive they don't want to tell me, or they think I'm that much of an open book and blabbermouth, there's nothing to assume. So, I went on, I'm a member of this Facebook group, which is for homeschooling YouTubers. And like, you find out about collaborations on there, or people watch each other's videos and stuff like that. So there's no one on there I know in real life, but they do like kind of know me from watching some of my videos. So I posted on there, and they gave me some. So if you're thinking, oh, I could have done that, I could have given an assumption, you had your chance. You had your chance, don't even talk to me. So these are the assumptions from like the other YouTubers, who I don't know from real life, but they've seen some of my videos. So here we go. You're a strong woman. You don't follow the crowd or care what people think. I don't care what people think now, but I'm 33. It took me a long time to get there. Even as late as excuse me, I don't know, even as late as like 28, 29, I was still a bit. That's why when we first started homeschooling, I used to be like, oh well, we're just seeing how it goes, and da, da, da. Being a mum was the making of me. That was the beginning of me starting to stand up for myself and do what I wanted. Because when you become a mum, what's important and what isn't becomes more clear, doesn't it? And you know what's important once you've got kids. And the thing that did it, that started it, and the thing that did it was having my daughter. Because I know it's the same for boys, but I could see in my daughter that, you know, I don't want her to be, oh, okay then, or things that she's not happy about. So, there you go, there you go. You allow your children lots of choice and freedom to make their own decisions. Yes, they do, they're their own people. And I also think that if that's how you find out who you are and what you and about yourself and what you want to be and your own limits and stuff, if you're allowed to just be yourself and do what you want to do. Some people would say it's lazy parenting, but my mum, especially in my teenage years where I've messed up a lot, my mum used to let me be myself. And because she let me be myself, even if it was something she didn't really agree with, I used to go to her and tell her everything. She knew everything. And if I had a problem, I used to go to her. Still do, but I'm just saying it's because I knew she weren't going to turn around and go, you know, she'd tell me if I was out of order and she'd tell me how to put it right if I'd done something bad, but she let me be myself and make my own decisions, and I learned from them. You can't wrap people in cotton wool or keep them in a box their whole life, and then when they're pushed off into adulthood expect them to know what's what. And that's part of the reason we homeschool. I don't want them pigeonholed into boxes. I want them to do what they want to do and follow their interests and their personalities and stuff. I appreciate that they're their own people. Right, next one. You love books. Yes, I do love books. Yes, I do. Pardon me, sorry. You are thrifty and don't really like domestic stuff. So basically, you're saying I'm tight, I don't like spending money and I don't like cleaning. And you would be right. We have to be careful, we have to budget, and I don't like wasting money. And I hate cleaning. I hate the fact, I do my best, things are clean, but they're cluttered. That's my problem. I think things look worse than they are because they're cluttered. But you know, we've got 4 kids, I ain't got storage, because that's the other thing about, I can't get excited about domestic stuff like storage systems, and I just can't get excited about things like organisation. I just can't get excited about it. The first thing I'm going to do if I ever make any real money is hire a cleaner. I hate cleaning, and there's so much more I'd rather be doing. And the thing that does my head in is cleaning's never done. And you know when you have a proper blitz and a proper clean, and then the kids have wrecked it 2 minutes after you've done it, and then you become all bitter about it, and like, I don't want to be like that. I just don't. There's 101 things I'd rather do than that. And when the kids are grown up, I thoroughly intend to take a messy house or a messy narrowboat or wherever I'm living. And if I ever do become a writer, I'll have an office that is full of books and dust and random photos and stuff, and my friend will come in, or my cleaner will come in and say, stay to this room, and I'll be like, I don't care, this is my office, I wanted a tip, it's a tip, leave me alone. I'm far too fun and interesting to bother about cleaning. Whereas, you homeschool because of your culture. If you don't know, we're travellers. It's become very trendy to say gypsy, but when I was little, you said traveller, so I still say traveller. We don't homeschool because of our culture, but I don't know what the law is everywhere else, but in England, if you're a traveller, member of the travelling community, your children only legally have to do 200 attendances at school a year. Now, a morning counts as an attendance and an afternoon counts as an attendance, so you really only have to do 100 days of school a year, legally. And when our oldest did try nursery, the second time, which was connected to the school up here, I said to the head teacher, nursery and school, he's a traveller, he won't always be coming. I says, because there'll be things I want him to do with our culture, you know, he'll have to go to horse fairs and what have you. He won't be doing 100% attendance, so don't expect him to. And the head teacher said, yeah, that's fine, we'll just put a T down, traveller absence, that's fine. So, like, I could use that traveller absence. I could send them the bare minimum and use that traveller absence. And yeah, we still choose to homeschool because it's just better for us. And the other thing is, I suppose this is to do with our culture. Look, I'm not judging anybody else what you do, but in our culture, sex education, we believe the parents tell the kid. I'm not judging anybody else, but this is what we believe. When I was at school, they did sex education when I was 14. I wasn't allowed to do it. I'd sit in another room because my mum and dad said, we're travellers, she's not listening to Dirty Talk, what have you. But thinking about it, later they did an assembly which was all about body changes and stuff. And I walked out of the assembly because I knew that I shouldn't be looking at this, because this was against what mum and dad wanted. They wanted to be the ones that told me, and they did. The teacher had a right go at me, and I remember not telling my mum and dad because I didn't want to cause any trouble. And also, was it citizenship classes, some kind of pointless class. A few times when we was 15, 16, they were showing us videos on masturbation and stuff like that. And I didn't walk out because I knew, because the class was full of idiots, you know, horrible people, bullies, and I knew they'd laugh at me and make fun of me if I had to walk out. And I never told mum and dad because I knew that there'd be trouble. And the teacher would probably make fun of me when we went back in the class, so I just sat there like that during it. Now, if your mum and dad are against something because of the culture, the school should respect that. And the thing is, nowadays, they're not telling them at 14, they're telling them at 8. And that is too early for me, in our culture, and they're making it mandatory. I don't know. Like I said, I'm not judging anybody else. If you agree with that, that's your kids, your circus, your monkeys. But of our culture, that's not what we do. So, and that's, you know, me and my husband have said, that's what we're glad they're not at school because of that. Because it's just not what we do. And like I said, I'm not judging anybody else for your culture, so don't judge me for mine. But yeah, I suppose in a way, yeah. It's not why we homeschool, but I sit there and think, yeah, I'm glad they're at that. You are excited and terrified about the new baby. I'm excited about the new baby, yeah, and I am terrified. But I'm not terrified about the baby. I'm terrified about losing the baby because I lost the last one. I'm just... I don't know. Yeah. You want to live on a larger homestead with more chickens and other animals as well. I would... When I was... I've always wanted lots and lots of kids. But when I was little, I wanted to be a farmer as well as... And then I went through a stage of wanting to be like a comedy actress, like Julie Walters. But she lives on a farm. When she's not filming, she goes back to the farm. And I thought, I'd love that. So, yeah, that's one of my dreams as well. If I ever make money as a writer or something, to buy a narrowboat where you cruise in the canals in nature. Nature's all around you. I can walk the dog and all the nature. Or to be able to have a house in the middle of nowhere, loads of land around it, chickens, ducks, goats, Shetland pony, stuff like that. Yeah, I'd love that. Love that. This one made me laugh. I don't want to offend the person who said it, but it made me laugh. As an American, I assume because you're British that you drink hot tea from a pretty cup and love Jane Austen books. Oh, hey up. Sorry, that rod banging on the door. So where was that? Oh, as an American, I assume because you're British that you drink hot tea from a pretty cup and love Jane Austen books. I don't drink tea. A lot of British people do drink tea. I read somewhere that Ireland drinks the most tea and Britain, England is second. My husband can't do anything without 7 or 8 cups of tea in the morning. My mum likes tea and she does have a pretty china cup. But I don't drink tea. I don't drink coffee either. I just don't like hot drinks. If I'm poorly, I lay a cup of tea with some honey in. Or if I go visit my mum, she'll make me a cup of tea and I'll drink it because I can drink it. Like, I can't drink it at home. It'd be cold by the time I got to it. And I don't like having hot drinks around the little kids. And Jane Austen... It's not a period of history I'm interested in. I love my history, but it's not a period of history I'm interested in. And if I am interested in history, it's working class people. I find upper class people very boring. With the exception of Downton Abbey, that's about the only thing I can think of where I'm just as interested in them downstairs as them upstairs. And odd things about monarchs. But just rich people, I'm like... I've never read a Jane Austen book, don't want to. I watched Pride and Prejudice once, but this was years and years ago. I don't know what I think now, because your perceptions change, don't they? I don't know what I think now, if I watched it now, but I thought it would dribble. I've never wanted to watch, what other ones did she, Emma, and, no. It doesn't interest me, at all. Not at all. Oh, I like this one. I assume Pinky runs your house. You assume right, Pinky does rule the roost. She's got her 3 brothers round her little finger. She does rule the roost. And she's a dreadful sleeper. That's my only worry when the baby comes. The fact that Pinky's still... All the boys slept dead well. The fact that she's still a dreadful sleeper. And I'll have the baby. I assume you don't have a schedule and you just do one day at a time in your homeschool. Yeah, no schedule. I'm very fly-by-night. I've got a rough idea of what we're doing, but the thing is, if nobody's in the mood for it, they're not going to learn anyway. Or depending on the weather, if it's nice, we're going to go somewhere. And this is one of my problems with being a parent. If I make a plan, I like to stick to it, and I get frustrated if I can't stick to it, and that doesn't work well with my kids, so I've just had to ditch the plan altogether and see what happens. We've got like a very loose routine, but I couldn't be one of these where it's like my friend, they have a set time and they have a set time for each subject, set time for dinner, set time, and that works for them. I can't do it. I can't do it. None of us no, I can't do it. And that's the other thing I like about homeschooling, the fact that I can just, shall we do this now then? Alright then. I don't feel like doing that now, do you? Or I won't do it then. Right, last one. I assume you have help from the other two with the younger two. I do, but I don't really have set chores for my kids. If I need help, I'll ask them, and I expect them to help me if I ask them. I don't. One of the criticisms that large families often get is, oh, the older kids have to do everything. It's the older kids bringing up the younger ones. If that's the case, and the older ones are actually bringing up the younger ones, I don't agree with that. But expecting kids to help out, keeping the household going, the family going, is not only teaching them life skills and how to do things, and that everybody in the house is just as important as each other, and we should all help each other. And yeah, I say have to be careful here. That's how you end up with kids that are capable, that know how to help. And the thing is, because they're around little kids, they know how to deal with little kids, and they know that little kids perhaps need a bit more care and understanding, if you know what I mean. And I think that'll stand them in good stead. Plus, I think it helps build them relationships. When I'm not here anymore, I'd like to think they're going to look after each other. Someone's come upstairs again. I would have got that last one anyway. So, I'm going to go now. It's sunny. I've got a dress. I've got a skirt on. This one's dead good because I'm pregnant. Look, it proper. I don't know if you can see. It proper stretches out. See you brand new. I see you next time. See you next time. Brand new video. Bye.